What is up, everybody? It's Brandon from TrailSpinTV. Just figured I'd do a quick live video, let you guys get caught up, let you know what we're doing. Got some questions that some people have been asking that we haven't really answered in any of the videos. So just gonna get started and kind of go through those. If you're new here, welcome. This is TrailSpinTV. We just got done completing a 5-week trip from the East Coast to the West Coast, mostly off-road. And if you're new here, go ahead and check out episode 1 of that and get caught up. Join the community. Some of you have been asking us how you can contribute financially. Our Patreon page is live. It's patreon.com/TrailSpinTV. If you guys want to contribute that way, there's a couple options. So I wrote some questions down, some questions that keep coming up, and just figured I'd go through those and answer those, and then give everybody a chance to kind of ask your own questions, do a live Q&A, and let's get started. So question number 1, how's the Jeep doing? Jeep is doing good. Ray Woods, what's going on? Very love the show, very inspiring. Guys, thank you so much for the love and support. Totally unexpected. We just kind of did this to do our own thing, and we didn't expect the channel to do as well as it's doing. So again, much love, much respect to everybody who's been tuning in and supporting us. You guys are the best. The Jeep is doing well. Ever since the repairs in Colorado, we've had no issues, no overheating, no transmission issues. Seems we fixed everything that was wrong. So Jeep's been running good. I just got the top off. It's nice and hot out, and got a soft top because I can't fit it in the garage when the hard top is on. So new truck. Whose new truck? My new truck? Or Braxton's new truck? That question's coming up. Might as well answer it now. What is Braxton going to buy? This has been a huge question. He's gone back and forth. He actually put a deposit down on a vehicle. I'm sure he's gonna want to talk on this instead of me, but he did put a deposit down on a vehicle. I don't know how many details he wants me to give away, but he did some research and ran the VIN number and stuff, and it was a right-hand drive vehicle from Japan. That's all I'm gonna say, and it didn't work out. So basically, I had some people look at it and look into it, and he decided not to go with it. So he's still in the market for a vehicle. He's looking into either some sort of 4x4 van, or I think a Gen 4 4Runner. So you know, he's got his eyes open. He's not in a rush to buy things. He basically wants something he can travel around with and still do his job, which is freelance photography, videography, and filmmaking. So he wants something that can get him where he wants to go, and something that fits in with the vibe of the channel. But as of now, immediate plans to buy a vehicle. He doesn't have anything exact in mind, and he could change his mind at any time. But question 2, when are you guys gonna upload the GPS files? Please accept my apologies for the delay on that. It's been crazy since I got back. As soon as we got done with the trail, we drove straight back to Illinois, and sorry, I keep getting distracted by the questions coming through, but we drove straight back to Illinois. I brought Braxton back to his car. We filmed all the episodes you guys have been watching the past few, you know, the rig walk around, what the future of TrailSpinTV is, and all that stuff. We did those as soon as we got back. We filmed 6 episodes, and I think there's still another one yet to come out. But basically just wanted to bang those out, give you guys something to watch while we got things taken care of on this end. I had to go to New York City to go to school for my job. And I actually, when I got back from school, I got laid off. So I'm currently unemployed, but a lot of like prospects and stuff that I have in mind, and you know, I could really use the extra time off. And plus, we have some upcoming plans focusing on the channel that it'll be nice to not have to worry about work. Yeah, I appreciate it. I'm sorry to hear it too. Kind of weird, long story, but basically, I'll be all right for the next few months. I had a little bit of money saved up, and you know, hopefully find something bigger, better. Maybe this channel will take off, and I'll be able to quit my whole 40 hours a week type thing and just kind of make content for you guys. But yeah, moving on. Question 3, can a stock vehicle do the Trans-America Trail? I don't know. Maybe a stock Wrangler, maybe a stock 4Runner. You're definitely going to want some high clearance vehicle, maybe some all-terrain tires, maybe some all-terrain tires. I don't think you're going to want street tires, and I don't think you're going to want a vehicle that's not lifted unless you've got a serious amount of armor underneath and you don't mind getting your vehicle bashed up. I would assume that if you have a stock vehicle, it's fairly new. You're either new to this or new to overlanding, and you haven't like really started to hook your vehicle up yet. I would advise against it. Most of the trail can be done in a stock vehicle, but once you start getting out west and you start hitting once you start hitting Colorado and doing those mountain passes and stuff, yeah, stock vehicle probably not going to fly. I'm pretty happy I do the trail in my Jeep stock. I actually did a lot of modifications before leaving, and I'm happy I did that, because if I didn't, I don't know what kind of crap we would have ended up in. So, what software did you guys use to edit? Tons of comments coming in. What's up, guys? Welcome. Again, if you're new here, thanks for watching. If you're old school TrailSpinTV fans, by old school I mean for like the past month and a half, thank you guys so much, man. Again, we're just kind of blown away by the amount of support that we got and are getting. So keep tuned, man. We got a lot of cool stuff planned and a lot of cool stuff coming up. I'm going to get to that. What software do we use to edit? Braxton uses DaVinci Resolve, which is mostly an After Effects kind of color grading program. He really likes the way that that his color correction stuff works in DaVinci, and he's not really that happy with the effects, but Braxton's the kind of guy that doesn't really need a lot of effects to make his stuff look good. You know, as you guys saw, the videos all came out great, and he's really talented at what he does. Where did we find our maps and routes? We decided to use Kevin GPS. If you look him up, Kevin GPS, I don't remember exactly. There's a guy named Sam that did the trail originally, and he made those maps available by purchase, and then somebody named Kevin came along and basically made it open. Wow, interesting comments coming in. So basically, he took that route, extended it to the coasts, and made it available for everybody. So we just kind of downloaded those and loaded them into Gaia GPS, and then used those maps and followed those. And then we basically kind of created our own route by sticking to those. What kind of music does Brandon make? So I've been a DJ producer for about 19-20 years, something like that. Mostly sticking to like EDM style music, but I did have a little hip-hop project that was going for a couple of years. Kind of out of the music game now. It's gotten old and stale, and I'm getting a little old and stale, I guess. So ever since moving to Illinois, I haven't really been messing around with music too much, but still I have love for it, you know what I mean? Like, still, if you guys need a DJ, I'm pretty good. You guys can hire me pretty cheap. Getting kind of bored around these places. So yeah. How much was gas was another question that kept coming up. So if you do the math, which I just did, I haven't actually gone through my credit card statements yet. I've been kind of avoiding that. It was an expensive trip, but this is basically 6,500 miles from the East Coast to the West Coast by the route that we took, and it's about 663 gallons of gas with the gas miles that the Jeep gets, which is about 9.8 miles per gallon. So it costs us about $2,000 in gas to get from the East Coast to the West Coast. Big expense, that's for sure. Food really wasn't that expensive. We kept it cheap. You know, we ate a lot of hot dogs and just a lot of eggs and, you know, stuff to just kind of sandwiches like that. Try to keep food costs down, but biggest expense was definitely gas, and second biggest expense was repairs, for sure. I haven't really looked into what was the biggest or most important thing to prepare for. I guess the most important thing to prepare for is issues with your vehicle. I mean, at least in my situation anyway. I mean, I knew the Jeep was high mileage before I left, but I took a shot. Really wasn't having any issues with it. I put about 20,000 miles on it before I left for the trip. I bought the vehicle last summer, and you know, stuff broke. I mean, we beat the crap out of it. So, um, I would say that if you're going to take a trip of this magnitude, you're going to want to make sure that your vehicle is mechanically sound and make sure that all your fluids are good. If you're not good with mechanics, if you're not good with cars, like get somebody who is to kind of check your vehicle out. That would, I mean, you know, you got to be prepared for the unexpected, right? Like if things are going to go wrong, there's no doubt about that. I mean, this is a 5-week trip, so even if the vehicle was good to go, we would have ran into other issues. There's no escaping that. Sorry, let me see here. I actually don't know how to look at old comments. Braxton's always doing this whenever we do live chats, but a couple overland channels in Illinois. Check Midwest Overland on Facebook. I'm actually a member of Midwest Overland on Facebook. I don't really post in there very much, but I'm in there. So Utah for a job. Our economy is great. Yeah, the only thing is that I'm stuck in Illinois for now for the next 3 years. By stuck, I mean that my wife is, she graduated medical school. She's a practicing doctor now, and she has to do a residency, and her program's 4 years long. That's why we're here. We won't be staying here. Once those 3 years is up, we'll be moving. So what I'm looking for is something a little more remote, where I can work remotely or make a lot of money in a short period of time. So, I mean, my wife is pretty chill. I can go work somewhere in a big city, make some dough, and come home. But yeah, I'm not really like thinking too hard about the job thing right now. Kind of taking an extended break at this point. What else? Any upcoming trips? So all you guys that are curious about whether we're going to keep going, Braxton and I are still partners. We're still focused on this channel, and we do have trips coming up. Just as an unofficial announcement, with the guys from the garage shop, the guys with the FJ40 and the Raptor that you saw in some of our episodes, we'll be joining them for something called Expedition SEMA, which is a 30-day trip on the Continental Divide. Starts in Glacier Mountain, Montana, goes all the way down to New Mexico, and then back up to Vegas for SEMA. And we're working on a featured vehicle slot at SEMA. We're trying to get the Jeep in a booth, basically, probably somewhere outside of the event. But we've been contacted by companies, of course, for sponsorships and stuff like that. We're just trying to get through all the requests and to figure out who we actually want to work with. We're probably going to stick to some of the same sponsors that Aaron and the team have already been working with. So Arturo Tires has already decided to work with us. Mile Marker Winches. We're not trying to make the Jeep look like a NASCAR. It's not my style, but so it won't. I can promise you that. But we will be at SEMA, and we will be doing another 30-day trip, and we'll be uploading daily as much as we can for that 30 days. I know that there's some signal issues through a lot of that. Through Wyoming, there's not much data coverage and stuff like that, but we'll still be creating daily episodes, and when we do get back to signal, we'll be uploading those and scheduling them so that they get released. So look for another 30 to 40 episode series starting at the beginning of October. And I'll be personally trying to get to Overland Expo East. So some of you guys have been asking whether we were going to check that out, and I think go. I'm going to go. I know Braxton's got some obligations, but we're going to try to work all that stuff out. Another major question was, what's the deal with Braxton's 8-day underwear thing? Wearing the same pair of overlanding underwear for 8 days. I can't speak on that. I definitely did not do the sniff test. But I know that Braxton has a video coming out within the next few days where he's going to be speaking on how the whole underwear situation worked out. So I know you guys are sitting on the edge of your seats waiting for how that ended up working out. Favorite state or location to go through? Me personally, I'm I really loved Colorado. It was my first time there. We didn't enjoy getting stuck in Colorado for 5 days, 6 days. Uh, but Ouray was amazing. The whole like Ouray to Moab, like that whole between Utah and Colorado, the area is just so amazing, so scenic, and it just aesthetically like Utah was definitely one of my favorite areas to be in. How's Roscoe's lumberjack career going? He's good. He's good. He's supporting the family right now since I'm recently unemployed. Uh, Roscoe's bringing home the bacon, mostly for himself, but you know, meet and greet in Chicago. Definitely, we want to do that. The only thing is that from past experience, meet and greets in Chicago are basically meeting up in some parking lot, and everybody kind of shows off their shiny, brand new rigs with like 60 grand worth of modifications on and about, maybe to Michigan or something like that, and actually use their stuff. I'm not a big fan of like, you know, the whole mall crawler scene, which there's a lot of that in Chicago, in the entire Illinois area. But I would love to just go to Chicago just to kind of meet up with local people and pick their brains and see like, you know, if we can actually put together some larger scale events. I don't know if you know this, but back in like February, TrailSpin was actually involved in a mall crawler Jeep. Yeah. TrailSpin was actually involved with a meetup at a Jeep dealership in Chicago, and it was pretty good. It was like 50, 60 people there, but you know, we had a little ramp so everybody could test their articulation and all that stuff and their suspension. But Trans-Wisconsin Adventure Trail, aka the Twat. I actually a big fan of it. I've done it twice now. I would totally go back and do it again. I kind of want to check it out in the summer. I've only done it when it's cold. The start of it at the south end is only about 2 hours for me, so yeah, we'll see, man. Might be a good place to you know, to mess around, play around, and get some people from Chicago area out and about and see what's up with that. I definitely plan on doing some meet and greets this summer, thinking like late July, early August. It's the only time that I really have like time in my schedule to do stuff like that. So we'll see. Just keep your eyes open for announcements and all that. Silver Lake, Michigan. Yeah, that sounds cool. Michigan's awesome. I'm actually at Michigan in a few days for a music festival, so I'll be kind of off the radar and not really reachable. Braxton's gonna be releasing some videos and stuff like that. It's kind of why I'm sitting down doing this. But what else? What else you guys got? What else you guys got for me? Took but never used. We kind of touched on this in the rig walk around, but camping chairs we didn't really use, and Braxton stopped sleeping on a cot after about the third day, so it was kind of annoying to keep dragging that around. As far as like everything else that we brought, I know it looks like we brought a lot of stuff, but we used everything, so I can't really give you like too much of a rundown of what we didn't use. We found everything to be pretty useful. I mean, our 6 bins on top, 2 of them had clothes, 1 of them had heavy blankets, which we ended up using on some of the colder nights. 1 of them was our bathroom stuff, towels, and like a little toilet to go take a crap in the woods if you needed to, toilet paper, soap, stuff like that, the hose for our shower setup. Another case had all our kitchen stuff, another case had all our tools. I didn't use all of my tools, but I'm happy that I had as many tools as I brought, just in case something catastrophic happened. How do you like the heater? I love the heater. The little buddy, I think it's the little buddy, it's the little yellow one. I have a 20-pound propane tank that I bring with me, and a lot of people gave me crap about bringing that with me, but I brought it because we can run that heater for, I think it's like 80 hours total on a 20-pound propane tank. So we could just leave it running all night, keeps the tent nice and toasty. There was a couple nights where it got down to like the low 30s, and it was nice to have that. So what else? Let me know when you come to Vegas. We'll be there at the end of October for SEMA, so I don't know the exact dates, but Jimmy Picks, yeah, I grew up in Orange County. Went to Valley Central, if you know the area, but I spent most of my time in Newburgh, Poughkeepsie. My wife is from Marlboro, if that answers your question. My recording studio is in Poughkeepsie. You guys going to sell stickers and whatnot? We bought about 50 vehicle decals. They're about 4 inches by 4 inches. Shout out to Mike Tyler for bringing those over to us. If you guys private message us on Instagram, I know there's a lot of people watching right now, so this is probably going to be a mistake. But yeah, if you hit us up on Instagram or Facebook and send us a private message with your address, I'll just mail them out, and when they're gone, they're gone. I'm not going to sell them. I should sell them, but you know, if you want a sticker, just hit us up. What else? Oh, is it too much work? Got your first sticker on my exhibition. Nice. Mike, thanks again, man, for that. Will you ever use a trailer? It's a good question. I don't really like dragging something extra. One thing I would say is it's probably a little bit easier on the suspension to have the weight behind you rather than on top of you. But yeah, I kind of like the setup. The only thing I would change would be the whole fridge slash cooler setup. Like, it was kind of pain in the ass to get to our cooler. Yeah, I don't know if I'll ever get a trailer. Kind of anti-trailer. I don't know if you guys could tell, but we're anti-roof. It's just a lot of extra crap, and you can bring other stuff if you don't bring like all that extra. I'll buy one, not on Instagram. Okay. What, a sticker? You don't have to buy them. Just hit us up on Facebook. Recommend any trails upstate? The only like trail I've done is actually a hiking trail in Beacon. It's I don't know if I'm getting in trouble for saying this. It's basically illegal to go because it's a hiking trail. So if you go back like before the Transamerica Trail videos, you'll see a video called Lights Before Lockers. That was actually Mount Beacon. You start at the trailhead, and then you can drive the whole way up. It originally was a fire road. It's off limit for vehicles now, and I mean, technically, if you get caught, they can confiscate your vehicle. So it's super illegal to do, I guess. We didn't actually do it. It's all done in a studio. So that's the only trail I know of upstate. But everybody's like sending mad messages for the stickers now. So I knew that was gonna happen. I don't really know of any other like trails. You know what I mean? Like, the closest thing I can think of is that like off-road park in Pennsylvania, Rosh Creek or whatever. But I don't know of any other trails in upstate New York. I'm sure there's a ton. We just haven't really looked into it. I've been in Illinois for the past year. So what else? How do you look at the... I don't know how to use this. I'm just trying to like swipe up to see all the comments. But... And Zaborrego, definitely want to do that for sure. You're better off going to New Jersey or Pennsylvania. Upstate trails suck. Yeah, because most of it's private land. It's New York, so everybody owns everything. Everybody from the city comes up and buys everything. So there's nothing that's like public land. Did you end up getting the trail rated shirt? I mean, the snail rated shirts before they got taken down for copyright? Because everybody keeps asking just about those t-shirts. So if you were interested in a snail rated shirt, I'm trying to look into ways of getting a whole copyright thing. Jeep actually found those shirts and shut us down. Amazon sent us like a big warning or whatever, and it's actually my second copyright warning on my merch account in Amazon. So I have a tendency, bad habit of taking other people's ideas and making them my own. So from the East Coast to West Coast, then to the Yukon. That sounds like an amazing trip. I'm assuming that probably takes some time, and as of right now, I've got enough time, but I need to start looking for work soon. So probably November, December, I'll be looking for work. And then as the year progresses, I'm not going to Canada in the winter. Screw that. I'm not a big fan of sub-zero camping. I have done it. But, you know, I want to do it. I mean, I want to do the Alaska to Chile thing. I want to do all that stuff. You know, hopefully the channel takes off to the point where we can support ourselves just through this. But, you know, that's pipe dreams. I know everybody doesn't become a YouTube star. And my profession. So historically, for the past 15 years, I've basically done a lot of audio, video, home automation, low voltage, like installation stuff, construction, basically. And I have a little side business doing that. I've been operating out of Illinois, but driving back to New York to do that. But my main 9 to 5 for the past 5 years was working for a tech startup that was based out of New York City, doing product management and customer service. But that company has not been doing well, no fault of my own. But when I got back, I took 6 weeks off of work for the first time since the company was formed. My first vacation ever was a Trans-American Trail trip. That's the only vacation I've had. I worked on my honeymoon, yada, yada. Long story short, I took the time off. And when I got back, I drove all the way from Oregon to New York City, took a class in product management. And when I got back from that class, which was my 7th week of not working, they laid me off. So they were the original TrailSpin shirts, sadly. That's all right. We got better shirts coming, and I still appreciate you buying those. Obviously, we don't get a huge cut out of that because it's Amazon, so we don't hold inventory. But we're gonna start working with some T-shirt printers and try to get some better designs done. I'm an amateur graphic designer, and I've got some designs all laid out. And, I just got to find the right place to get those printed and sold. I hate like buying like 100 T-shirts and sitting on them waiting for people to buy them. That's why the Amazon thing was so nice. I'd recommend the hoodies. The hoodies are like super soft and comfortable, and they're expensive. We get $5 a hoodie. If you guys want to support us financially, I would recommend hooking us up on Patreon. It's pretty much the best way for us to actually use the money towards stuff. It's going to take me a while to recover from this trip. It was kind of an expensive trip. But, so if you do want to toss us dough, that's the best way to do it. Just through Patreon. Again, if you need that link, it's just patreon.com/TrailSpinTV. And shout outs to the 2 guys that are supporting us through there. Really appreciate that. Right now we're making a whole $6 a month. Killing it. So I think that's about it. Look at my little notes and stuff. Stay tuned. We have another video coming out in a couple days. Super chat donation. I think that's for approved partners, and we actually applied. So we got 1,000 subscribers and the 4,000 hours of watch time back. It was if you're familiar with the series and you know what episodes we're talking about, it's when we drove all the way up that mountain and camped at 10,000 feet at the edge of the cliff, and Braxton couldn't sleep because it was too windy, and he like stacked up all the rocks and did all that crap. That day we applied for the YouTube partnership, which is how you get paid for the videos and stuff like that, and that's also part of like being able to make donations while we're doing live chats. They still haven't approved us. They said that they're backed up and that they're trying to get to everybody's applications by the end of June. It's been like, I think it's been 5 weeks, and it used to only take like a week for them to approve you. They still haven't approved us, which is crazy because in the meantime, with our expo videos and stuff like that, I mean, we're pulling about 3 million watch minutes a month, something like that. The response has been huge, and we're not getting paid for any of it. So there's nothing we can really do. We've reached out to them. They haven't responded to us. And it's basically just have to keep waiting. My PayPal account is really only like a personal PayPal account right now. Again, if you want to toss us dough, I would suggest hitting up Patreon. Or if you want to message me privately, I mean, if you want to send me money, I'm not going to say no to that. I'll send you some stuff in return. But yeah, if you guys ever want to chat or whatever, my email address is brandon@trailspin.tv, and Braxton is bratton@trailspin.tv. We love hearing from you guys, and we love establishing relationships and networking and stuff like that because it's important. So that's 30 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm actually exhausted just from this. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you enjoy what you're seeing, make sure you always like the videos. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you ring the notification bell. It helps us get out there. Part of the whole reason that we were able to gain so many subscribers in such a short period of time was just the interaction with you guys, and you know, I'm still going through all of the comments, and Braxton's still going through the comments, and we're just trying to answer questions that need to be answered. You know, we're liking comments that we like that don't really need to be answered. I mean, if you guys are like, hey, you guys are awesome, cool, thank you guys so much. You know, it means the world to me to even have people, you know, following us first of all, and then, you know, the series came out so good. Even from my own standpoint, like going back and watching these videos now that we're home, I'm just kind of blown away about, you know, blown away by the job that Braxton did. You know, and that we both did. I mean, it was a lot of work on both of our parts, and you know, we want to keep it going. And if we weren't getting such a great response, we probably wouldn't keep it going. But you know, now we have this like motivation to like kind of come up with ideas and concepts and things we can do. So just be patient with us. You know, money's tight, obviously, and Braxton's got to get back to work. You know, he took 2 months off of work. He wasn't paid. He's a freelance photographer, videographer, and he's gotta pay some bills. So we're thinking about heading to Outer Banks just to kind of camp on the beach. We'll see how that pans out, but for sure, stay tuned for the Expedition SEMA, where we'll be doing 30-day trip with those guys and ending up in SEMA, and most likely we'll end up at Overland Expo East. So thank you guys so much. If you have additional questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below. And you can, again, you can email us, you can Instagram us, you can Facebook us, you can do all that, and we try our best to get back to everybody. So thanks you guys again. Talk to you soon.